Hey y'all, this is Denise from Denise's Garden and we are propagating garden sage. So I'm using a baking sheet, poking holes through, and then I'm gonna fill it up with soil. I already did that pre-made soil. It's just peat moss, compost, and perlite. I'm using a rooting hormone for some of the plants, and then I just want to experiment and I want to see what happens when I don't use them. So the first 2 rows have hormones. So for the garden sage propagation here, I have this root that has a little bit of woodiness on it, but it's okay. I'm not keeping all that wood. I'm just gonna snip off the ends and keep and cut off some of the branches and using that to root. So I'm gonna clip all the dead leaves off. And yeah, I clipped these in water and they looked way better than this, but I put them in water after I clipped them and they were in there a little bit too long. So anyway, some did start forming, it looks like some roots, but others just didn't, and it's really because that woody part, that's why I want to clean that up and cut off a good portion of the woody part. I'm going to do 3 types, one with no wood at the stem of it and some with the woody stem, just to see what happens, to see which method is better. So I did clip off and make a fresh cut. I dipped it in water. That's a little bit of the soil from my gloves that's in the water. But yeah, so I dipped it in water and then I'm gonna dip it in the hormone root so it can stick to the stem. Okay, so there it is. I am dipping the stem in the hormone root. Oh my goodness, hormone powder. And now I'm just gonna place it in the soil. Sheesh. So I'm just poking it right through. I'm not creating a hole because the stem is strong enough to kind of push right through the soil, and it helps you reduce air pockets. So this stem right here had a couple of new growth shoots, so I clipped those off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for this one. Move all that mess out the way. This one looks a lot better. And when I place the clipping in the soil, I'm gonna go all the way up. So where you see fresh cuts, I'm hoping that the root will grow from the fresh cut when I cut the leaf there. So yep, and like I said, I'm gonna bring the soil right all the way up to the stem. Dipping this one in hormone powder. So I am planting the plant and of course I had a very bad angle, but it's okay. I'm just gonna push through this and yeah, it is what it is. On to the next. Now remember when I said that one of the stems looks like it was growing some roots or some new growth right there? Here it is on the stem. This was one of them. So I'm not gonna keep this bottom portion. I'm gonna clip all that off, and there the roots are right there. I'm just gonna clip that bottom portion off and keep the upper woody piece of the clipping. Yep. And then I'm gonna just clean the bottom up a little bit because we just wanna get some fresh cuts. And just cleaning it up. And yeah, those, I'm hoping that they will root all those side shoots. We will see. And this one, I'm not using the rooting hormone because like I said, I want to try to grow some without the rooting hormone. And I just want to compare and see which one does better or worse. Don't mind that whine. That's my dog goes wanting to go outside. He's been outside all day. Okay, so I planted that in and we are moving right along. So I filled the tray up and now I'm going to try to grow some of this lavender. I've tried to grow lavender, but haven't been successful. So here we go again. I am pulling the same thing as the garden sage. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bottom leaves. I did cut the flower part of the lavender off, and I am going to use the rooting hormone for this lavender. Did this for a few clippings of the lavender, and yeah, I did like one whole quick row of the lavender. So yeah, and I did use the rooting hormone powder for the lavender. I believe here's the last one. I used the same method, cleaned off the stem, pulled off the leaves from the bottom, and pulled off the flower from the top, and popped it in the hormone powder and popped it into the soil. And while I was at it, I figured why not throw some thyme in. So I had a thyme bush and it died out. I had it for about 3 years and it started dying back. But some baby thyme grew, and I pulled it up from that area because I wasn't sure what was going on with it, and I threw it in a grow bag. But these are clippings from the baby thyme plant, and I figured I would use the same method, pull all the bottom leaves off. But this was a little different because I don't have to go in there vertically. Like I can plant this horizontally and put as much as the plant as I can from the fresh pulled leaves. So that's what I did with the thyme. I did a little roll of the thyme for this, and I popped some in the hormone root growth powder as well. So there's the last plant I'm putting into my little propagation tray, and here it is. Voila, all done. Now I'm going to spray it down with some water. I'll just put some water all over. I don't want it too moist and I don't want it too dry. So I'm definitely going to cover it and keep that moisture in. And I went ahead and I just want to try to propagate some stuff outside. So I'm using this this grow bag and I'm lining it. I'm planting them right on the side where there's a little bit of shade because I know I don't want to do this on direct sun. I don't want to stress the plant out. And I'm trying out the water method. And I'm gonna dry these herbs right here. And that is all, y'all. So thanks for joining me on propagating garden sage, lavender, and thyme. I think I might have said rosemary, but yeah, nah, I'm bugging. That was thyme. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you leave a comment, ask me any questions, and I'm going to do an update in a few weeks. Take care. Bye, y'all.